Welcome back, folks. I do want to remind you before you start that this is definitely something that's the new page that was given out. Do not write in the old packet because these two pages I'm about to show you got printed on top of each other and you can't really read either one. So again, make sure you got the new page. Now let's get started. Using a calculator, I would like you right now to try this, and then if you have, well, try it without a calculator and then try it with a calculator and see if you get the same answer for this one and this one. And then after you've tried them without a calculator and then with a calculator, if you get different answers, that's what this lesson's all about. So I'm not even going to talk about those until we get to part 2. So I want you to pause the video and do that yourself now. The order of operations says, of the 4 operations, which are plus, minus, times, and divide, you have to do them in a particular order. Otherwise, for the same math problem, you get different answers. Now, they may not seem important to some people, but think about it this way. There's a lot of math calculations involved when you, let's say, make a new bridge. If the math isn't coming out the same by all the people, then the bridge isn't going to be made well. So in all the ways that we use math, we have to agree on how to solve a problem correctly and what is the actual correct answer, because there's lots of ways to solve a problem and you can get a lot of different answers. So let's get started with this one. In the order of operations, I know this is a review, you have to do multiplying and dividing before you can do adding and subtracting. So in this part, you have to do the 3 times 2, which is 6. And then 4 plus 6 is 10. If you have exponents, you have to do exponents first. So you have to do 4 to the 2nd power, which is not 8. It means 2 4s are multiplying. 4 times 4 is 16. Now, I have plus plus divide. This is what you have to be doing when you go through these questions. You have to think to yourself, which operation? If you don't stop and think before you start solving it, you're going to get the order wrong. So next I have to do division because multiplying and dividing have to be complete before addition and subtraction. 24 divided by 6 is 4. So I have 5 plus 16 plus 4. Now this is one of those questions where everything is adding. In the next unit you're going to learn more about some properties. But in this case, since everything is adding, I get to do it in whatever order I want. And I'd rather do 16 plus 4 is 20. And then 20 plus 5 is 25. Now, a numerical expression is numbers and symbols. That's it. Evaluate is solve. Work it out. PEMDAS is one of the ways that people remember the order of operations. I got to tell you, I'm a little wary of PEMDAS because a lot of times when people use it, they think it's always my before dear, aunt before Sally. So please, as parentheses or groups, that's not the only form of grouping, but that's the most common. Excuse is exponents. So what's going on is you have to complete all grouping. Within grouping, you have to follow the order too. Then you have to complete all the exponents. And then multiplying and dividing go in order left to right. And then addition and subtraction go in order left to right. That's really important. The danger is people say, oh, my dear, every time, my dear, so multiply before divide, but that's not true. These are equal, so you have to do whichever kind comes first in the problem from left to right. Let's keep going. So this just talks about what I said about multiplying and dividing and addition and subtraction going in order from left to right. Flip your page to the back and let's keep going on to the back. More of the same. Here's a nice way to look at it. Groups, exponents, these are equal, these are equal. So think about both of them at the same time, think about both of them at the same time. Now for the rest of the notes, I want to do a couple problems with you, and I'm going to leave you the last one. Let's do these two together, and then you're going to do that one, and I expect to see it complete tomorrow. We're going to do multiplying first because you have to multiply before you add. 12 times 2 is 24, so this is 9 plus 24. You see where it says box it? If you wanted to actually draw a box around it and say I have to do that first, you can, or underline it or cross it out. Use the method that works for you. What you don't want to do is just write 12 times 2 and pick it out of the order of the problem. When you rearrange the order of the problem, you are solving a different problem. So keep it lined up underneath what you did. See how I put the 9 plus in the front and not plus 9 after it? It's dangerous to get into the habit of rearranging the order. 24 plus 10 would be 34, so 24 plus 9 would be 33. Let's do this one. And by the way, this space over here, if you need more space, you can use it. If you have enough space here, you can do that too. I like this side because I don't have to rewrite the question. By the way, all of these x's mean multiply at this point. So in the order of operations, I see no groups. Next, I see an exponent, so I'm going to do 3 to the second power, which is 9. So 4 times 9 plus 8 minus 16. Times plus and minus, what's next? Times. 4 times 9 is 36, plus 8 minus 16. 36 plus 10 would be 46. If I go down 2, that's 44 minus 16. Now here's where I'm going to use this space. 44 minus 16. I borrowed from the 4 and I added 10 to 4, so it's 14. 14 minus 6 is 8, 3 minus 1 is 2. So that equals 28. You do this one and be very careful. Don't just start working it out. You need to follow the order of operations. See you tomorrow, folks.